everyone, Steph here, and today I'm bringing you workout number 2 of the Younger, Energized, Stronger, the Y.E.S fitness plan, which is geared to beginners and active older adults. There are 3 workouts in this series, and when you do all 3 workouts in a week, after about 8 weeks, you should be feeling just what the title says, younger, stronger, and more energized. So for today's workout, there's going to be 7 moves that either use resistance bands or just your own body weight to complete. So you're going to need resistance bands and you're going to need a way to mount your bands. I'm going to be using this wrap. I'm going to be wrapping it around this pole. And for this workout, you're going to want to wrap it low for the exercises we'll be doing. If you're using a door mount at your home, that works too. Just make sure you're threading it through on the hinge side of the door. Just like workout number 1, you can either do this routine all on your own. I've got all the exercises detailed over on the Fit RV website in a post, and I'll make sure there's a link to that in the description. Or you can follow along with me in part 2 of this video. But first though, I want to give you a quick preview of the 7 exercises we'll be doing today. The first exercise is rotating reaches with your feet wide. In exercise 2, you'll do hip hinges while you're stepping on the band. Exercise 3 is a double arm squatted row. And for exercise 4, you're going to do some side stepping lunges with band pulls. Exercise 5 is a double arm high chest press. Exercise 6 is a split squat with a hammer curl. And finally, exercise 7 is a fun balance challenge where you're drawing circles with your toe. And with that, stay tuned for the follow-along workout in part 2. All right, let's do this. So let's start by supersetting the first 2 exercises, rotating reaches and hip hinges. Starting with the rotating reaches, no bands needed for this one. Get your feet wide and turn your toes out a little with your arms out to your sides. Bend your right knee as you rotate and reach your left arm over your right knee, and then repeat the move the other way to complete 1 repetition. Keep your core tight and your spine long so you're up with good posture. You're always up with good posture, right? As you do this move, you want to make sure you're driving your hips back and you're keeping your weight on your heels. That'll make sure you're not overtaxing your knees. We're doing 10 reps of these. We're doing 10 reps of everything today. And here we are on our last rep. And there you go. First set done. Great job. Moving on to the hip hinges. Grab your band and don't bother attaching the handles. Or if your band has permanent handles, no problem. Just grab the webbing below the handles. Step on the band so it's under your arches and then cross the bands. So switch hands that hold them. So the band makes an X in front of you. Stand up tall with your core tight and then start hinging by driving your hips backwards, as if there's a wall behind you and you're trying to get your glutes to touch it. Your exhale is as you return to upright, and once you are upright, squeeze your core and your glutes at that very top phase before starting each new hinge. I turned sideways so you could see my form better, and notice how I'm not rounding my back at all. I'm maintaining that natural arch in my spine as I hinge. You can also see how my knees soften as I hinge back, but this isn't a squat. Make sure your hips are bending way more than your knees are. And here's our 10th and final rep. Nice work. Now we're starting our second and final set of both exercises we just did, starting back with the rotating reaches. Again, you'll get your feet wide with your toes turned out. Get your arms out to your sides so you form a T, and then begin rotating just like before. Continue until you've done all 10 repetitions. If your knees are taking it okay, see if you can challenge yourself to bend a little more and reach a little farther. You always want to push yourself because exercise should never be easy. This is an important move because it's working your core on the transverse plane of motion, which we don't train enough. And it's one of the keys to preventing injuries, back and hip injuries in particular. And here's our last rep. You are done with your first of the 7 exercises. Nice work, and let's keep knocking them out. We're back to the hip hinges, and you know what to do here. Step on your band again, get it under your arches, cross the handles, make that X, stand up with a tall spine and a tight core, and then start your repetitions.
You're driving your hips backwards because remember, they're leading the show here. You're hinging them backwards just as if there was a wall back there. And again, you're trying to touch it with your glutes. Let your knees be soft and don't let your back round. You're keeping your knees a little bent, and that's going to help you with a natural arch in your spine. And keep going until you've done all 10 repetitions. And here's our last hip hinge. Nice work. You've completed 2 of your 7 exercises. We're starting the next superset, and this time we'll be doing squatted rows and sidestepping lunges. Beginning with the rows, you're going to need your anchor mount now, so set it up on something low and thread your band through it. Attach both handles and then step away from the anchor until there's plenty of tension on the bands. And then lower into a squat, and you're going to hold that squat for the whole set. So your weight's on your heels and your hips are driven backwards. With your palms facing each other, exhale and begin rowing. You're driving your elbows back, and each time you do, give an extra big squeeze back there, pulling your shoulder blades into your spine as if you're trying to crack a walnut. It's common to neglect doing that extra squeeze on the back of the row, but it's so important because that's the way you hit your rhomboids, which are especially important for keeping good posture as we're aging, or really at any age. And there's 10 reps. So now we're switching over to our sidestepping band pull-aparts. You want to hold the band horizontally in front of you with your hands roughly about shoulder width apart. I like to double up my band because it makes it easier to grip that way. Hold it with your palms down. Keep your chest up and your neck long. With each big side step, stretch the band apart laterally, keeping your shoulders back and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Take a big side step to the left and the right to complete 1 repetition. This is another great move for building better posture, and it's also great for shoulder health. It's activating the stabilizer muscles around your shoulder joints, including rotator cuff muscles. Keep going until you've done all 10 of your repetitions. Check in with your side steps. Are you taking a big enough step? Can you go farther? Are you going as low as you can? With exercise, you want the intensity to be challenging because that's how we get stronger. And just like that, you finished your reps. Awesome! Let's repeat both those exercises a final time. So we're back to the squatted rows. Same as before, walk out from your anchor until there's tension on the band, and then get in your squat position, making sure your hips are driven back and your weight is on your heels and your chest is up. And then start your rows. Don't forget the squeeze each time your elbows are all the way back, squeezing your shoulder blades in towards your spine. And remember, your exhale is always on the effort with any exercise. So on rows, you exhale as you're pulling back. Keep rowing until you've done all 10. And here we are on our last rep. Great job! That's your 3rd exercise completed. Now let's knock out our last set of sidestepping pull-aparts. So again, hold your band with it doubled up or however you want so you get a good grip. And then take big side steps and pull your band laterally, squeezing your back muscles as you do so. Keep your chest up and your shoulders back and keep going just like that until you've done all 10 repetitions. That's your 10th rep and your 4th exercise now completed. You are rocking this workout. Great job. Keep going and stay with me as we move on to our 3rd superset, this time doing a high chest press and a split squat with a hammer curl. Starting with the chest press, you'll be using your anchor set low again with 2 handles attached. Face away from your anchor, holding the handle so the bands are below your arms. They shouldn't be on top of your forearms or touching your arms in any way. Stand tall with your feet parallel and your core held super tight. Then begin pressing up at a diagonal, exhaling with every press. And keep going just like that through all 10 of your repetitions. And here we are on our final rep. So we're moving on now to our split squats with hammer curls. Grab your band, no handle, no anchor needed this time. And if you have any balance issues, hold on to something because these are going to challenge your balance. Step on the band with your forward foot and then grab the webbing on the band's ends in the opposite hand from the leg that's forward. Curl the band up using a neutral grip so your palm is facing sideways. Hold your split squat as you curl, just like you see me doing here, and do make sure your spine is up tall and you aren't leaning forward. Your exhale on these is each time you curl up. And now that we've done all 10 on this side, let's switch the band around and work the other side. Do your curls just like you did on the other side, with good form, holding your split squat and keeping your chest up. Check in with your form and make sure your core is tight and your spine is upright. Your neck also should be long and your chin should be tucked. And how are your legs doing? Can you go a little lower? You always want to keep challenging yourself because if it's easy, you aren't building any new strength. All right, we finished our first set of those. Great job. Now we've got one more set of both of those exercises, so we're back to the high chest presses. Same as before, step away from the anchor until there's tension on the bands. Keep your feet parallel as you press up at a diagonal, exhaling with each press. Make sure you're standing with good posture and a tight core. Only your arms should be moving, so hold your body as still as you can. Keep pressing slow and controlled until you've done all 10 repetitions. And you are done with your 5th exercise. We're so close to done. Let's knock out our last set of split squat hammer curls. Step on the band with your forward foot and your opposite hand is the one that will be curling. And I'm demonstrating how to hold on this time, which is totally fine if you need to. Always work at your own level, adapting these exercises to make them easier or harder or holding on, whatever you need. Check on your split squat form and make sure you're low enough that your leg muscles are working hard to keep you stable. And also make sure your trunk is up with good posture and you aren't hunched over. We're done with that side, so switch your band to the other foot and let's do curls on the other arm. You know what you're doing now, so continue doing your curls, holding your split squat until you've done all 10 repetitions. And here we are on our last repetition, and that's it. Great job. You have finished 6 exercises and you only have one more, single leg circles. For these, stand on one leg and with your raised foot, draw circles. Let's do 5 clockwise and then 5 counterclockwise for a total of 10 on each leg. Hold on if you need to, or even just one finger on a wall can help while still allowing you to practice your balance. Balance training is so commonly neglected, but it's very important for aging well, and that's why I like to incorporate it in my workouts. All right, so that was our first set of single leg circles. Let's do that one more time before calling this workout done. Keep your core tight and hold on if you need to. Just like before, let's do 5 circles each direction on both legs. And with this last circle, you just completed the Y.E.S workout number 2. Great job for sticking with it all the way to the end. You can find the other 2 workouts in this program by clicking the link in the description and heading to thefitrv.com. Be healthy, stay happy, and keep doing the work. You are worth it. See you on the road, friends.